Okay, so before we get started on the tutorial, there's two settings you're going to want to change. The first one is this little button right here. We want to change the quality to 720, and then go ahead and click on this button right here to make the YouTube video full screen. And in this tutorial, we will use the enrollment listing report to identify and meet the needs of all students in the class. We'll be working on questions 10, 11, and 12 on the student data worksheet. And the first thing we're going to do is identify the number of English learners in the first period class. And then we'll also look at how many of them are ASCELT Level 3 and how many of your students have been reclassified Fluent English Proficient. And from the EDIMS homepage, we are going to start off by hovering over Reports, then Group Reports, and go down here to the Enrollment Reports, and then click. And then once again, we will choose the student grouping to look at. And for the purposes of this activity, we'll be using the first period class. And then we'll hit Generate Report. And we'll get a really basic listing of the students with their ID number and their name. And then to get the information that we're interested in, we'll click on the Show Advanced button. And then we can click on the Enrollment tab if we wanted to add the grade level of the students. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. The Demographics tab has a whole bunch of different information for students, their EL status, if they're on an active IEP, the CELT level. So I'm going to go ahead and click what we're looking for, and that would be the EL status and the CELT level, and then hit Apply. And now I can go through my list here, and I could just count the kids like this, but it'll be much easier using either the Sort or the Disaggregate button. So when I go up here to my menu tab, I'm going to choose the Disaggregate button and then change this to View Disaggregated Data by Language Fluency, and then Apply. Now I can go down here and see that I have 6 students who are English learners in the first period class. And question 11 is asking how many students have a CELT level of 3. There are a small number of kids in this example, so I could look over here and see that I only have 1. However, if I was doing this for all the classes throughout the day, I would probably want to go up to the Advanced tab and use the Sort button. Change this from sorting it by student name to sorting it by EL status, and then I'll hit Apply. And now it sorts it by the different language fluencies. I can actually go and do 2 levels of sorting. So right now it has all of the EL students separate. What I'll do is add another layer to that, and now I'm sorting by EL status and then by CELT level. And then I'll hit Apply. And I can see that I have 1 student at a CELT level 2, 1 at a 3, and the rest are 4s. And this would help me with question number 11. Question number 12 asks how many of my students have been reclassified Fluent English Proficient. I can see by the same report I have 20 students in this class who at one time were English learners. And if I go out to the Advanced tab here, I'll see some additional information. So I might want to look at when the student was reclassified, and to do that I could click on the EL status date, and there's also some information in here that tells you additional information. So this would indicate if the student had scored proficient or advanced on the ELA CST 3 times after being reclassified. This button would tell you if the student has been reclassified within the last 2 years. So a lot of different options there that can give you some insight on your students, and hopefully information that will help you in your teaching.